You guys could not hear that. Don't worry, we can get that all out. So we are doing things different this time, as I was saying. We normally open up the show on Zoom, but because this is just the cast and myself, what we're going to be doing is just having this conversation. As you can see, I got Kofi right here at my side. Thanks so much, Kofi, for being here. We do not have Rhonda here right now, and we do not have Brittany. That's okay. The show goes on. Those ladies will come into the chat, but we got something to be talking about. And what better person to talk about it with than Kofi? Very opinionated, but always good. And that, whatever that is, by all means, tell me what it is. And it's pretty.
It's a Kofi original.
Oh, a Kofi original. It's your birthday. So, everybody in the chats, when you come in, even after the show is aired, do me a favor. Throw up some birthday cakes, some balloons, and give Kofi a wonderful birthday shout out. It's his birthday. Give him all the love that you can give. Let's remember that it's time to celebrate whoop, whoop, Kofi's birthday. We're celebrating from starting this weekend all the way through the rest of the month. So, you're never too late to say happy birthday, Kofi.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the pandemic.
You're quite welcome, Kofi. So we are here today just to have a conversation. Listen, we normally give you a lot of heavy hitters, right? We normally are talking about a lot of different things. Some heavy hitters, some personal for some people. I wanted to switch it up on today's show and have a conversation with you about what's happening in social media. Because social media is off the chain as always. Kofi, have you been following the trends on social media?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Now, you saw what I posted out there. Where do you want to start? I can start any place you want to start.
I would like to start with J-Lo and A-Rod.
Oh.
You know.
Okay.
You today they back together.
Yeah. Wait, you said it back together?
They
Wasn't
back.
Wait, was it not just
Friday, they were separated. Today they got information out saying that the reports were wrong and that they never split up.
Do you think that this whole thing with the birthday shout outs over here, people are shouting you out over here. Guys, thank you so much for the love for Kofi. Kofi will definitely get to your comments shortly after the show. So give him a moment. So, and I know you all can't see me here, but we're doing something different with Kofi right here. Kofi, do you not think that the A-Rod and J-Lo and all these other people who put these stories out in social media to keep us in tune to their lives and keep them on Front Street? Or do you believe the hype that they actually did a breakup and there was a little misunderstanding? And another thing, who put that out there?
Okay.
That's a mouthful.
Well, honestly, I believe that they actually did separate. Like, I think they might have had some problems throughout their relationship, but they're trying to work them out. That's what I believe. Because I know that there were recent photos of them separated. She's out filming a movie somewhere. He was on a boat somewhere by himself, and they're normally together. So I think that there was some blood in the water, but I think they're trying to, for America's sake, that they're trying to just fake the funk, saying that everything was a misunderstanding and that they never actually did separate.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think it's straight BS. I think it's so BS. We live in such a time right now that I remember as a kid, celebrities, you couldn't find anything about celebrities. Like, you wanted to know their business, and it was very much like the publicist, they had such great protection. And I used to think it was kind of corny because I'm like, well, why can't you just talk about who you are and all those different things? But come on. A lot of these people are telling people, I'm going to be here. This is where I'm going to be. This is what's happening. And then says other people putting their business out there so that we can be so in tune to kind of follow them. How is it on first? How did we get it wrong? Who put the story out there? I don't believe anything about it. I think it was all made up just to keep us in tune. A-Rod to me is a little corny. Okay, so he's corny.
Very lucky to have her too, because he's so corny.
Well, listen, I'm not going to, I say corny in a way as there's, when I look at A-Rod, he's no different than Ben Affleck for me.
I got you.
Okay, so if we're not talking about him, we're not missing anything. Now, I like J Lo as an entertainer, but I don't like her enough that I think that I'm so oh gaga over the fact that she's now broken up with A-Rod, or they didn't break up, or they're back together. Like, I think it's just a waste of time. Who cares if you're with him or not with him? I don't care. But I do care about this other stuff I'm about to say to you right now. Can I just say to you, these damn royals is working my nerves. They working my everlasting nerves. So let's have this conversation. I try to talk about it with some other people, including my significant other, my husband, but he was like, I don't give a damn. I don't care about them damn royals. And a lot of people saying the same thing. He's real like, I don't give a damn about the royals. And then when I look at him like, but I need to talk to you because I want to be talking about this on the show with my people. And he was like, okay, and I don't care. I don't care. But I have to say, first and foremost, did you watch the interview with Oprah Winfrey with and Meghan Markle's and Harry?
Absolutely. And the chickens. Mm-hmm.
And and Archie's, what is it called? Archie's barn or something, or hut?
Coop. Archie's coop, something like that.
Okay. I didn't get the whole thing about them like acting like they was having a day of talking at the chicken coop, but nevertheless, when she sat down under that gazebo, I was there for it. There for it. Since I could remember Princess Diana being the princess, is that the Duchess of Cambridge or whatever it's called, I was like, oh my gosh, why are they making such a big thing about this? Why don't she seem happy? Like, because every little girl or maybe little guys always want to grow up to be a princess or a prince. Right? But they did Princess Diana very dirty. And we come to know more about that after her husband, Prince Charles, decided that he would be okay with prancing around his mistress in front of his wife or soon-to-be ex-wife. But it was, I think that was a little bit made up. She looked the part. He couldn't have her because I think that lady that looked like a sea hag was married and then divorced or something like that. So it wasn't the look of what a prince should be with.
Gotcha.
What do you think?
About what part? Like there was so much. The thing that bothered me was the fact that when Meghan was pregnant, they said that her son might not have protection, and I thought that was crazy. So I was speaking to some people throughout the week, and they reminded me of a scandal where Princess Diana supposedly had an affair after Prince Charles, and Harry might not be his son, and that could be because nobody in the family has red hair. Mm-hmm. This guy, whose bodyguard, had red hair. He was from like the military, and supposedly she was affair with him, and that could be the bodyguard dude's kid, and that's why his son would not have protection because he's legitimately not royal. I thought that was because at first I was like, is it because he's married to a black woman? Is it because he's having a biracial son? That's what I was thinking. That was really messed up. Mm-hmm. Which that could indeed be the case as well, because we see that they don't associate with any people of color generally. Mm-hmm. I just thought everything was racially infused, and which does not surprise me to a degree, because, as I just said, they don't really associate with people of color. Even though this week, after that interview came out, they got choirs saying that they ain't racist. They got Prince Charles said he's not a racist. William said he's not racist. It's a lot. Like I generally don't watch like Oprah shows, her specials or whatever. I did enjoy this one.
Wait, so sidebar, why is it that you don't watch Oprah shows? Generally, you don't watch them?
Not really, because I really don't care about the topics.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, it depends on who she's interviewing. Uh-huh. I generally don't care about the topics of the people she's talking to. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And
I'm a big fan of Oprah. I'm a big fan of her. I'm more of a big fan of her because of her come up, her dedication, and what she has done for so many people in, the schools in Africa, and just giving back to so many people, and just her mission on the Oprah Winfrey Show. So I've always liked her. I think she did. Let me start here. I think Oprah did a tremendous job at interviewing Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's, and the fact that she was able to solidify that interview, opposed to so many people getting the interview. Why would any of us think any different that Oprah wouldn't be the first to actually get this interview? But she got the interview. So let me start with, even before I talk about Archie's race and him not having protection from the institution, because it took me a minute to understand institution, the monarchy, and all these different things. I thought when I heard the institution, I thought the institution was hundreds of thousands of people who ran this institution when it comes to the royals. And then the way Meghan Markle, I think she was the one that's saying, no, it's just a couple of people. A couple of people have that much power to kind of dictate how you move about with your love, or how you care for someone, or what you're going to tolerate or not tolerate. So that was something that stood out to me, that the institution is a couple of people in a position of power to keep the royals in their position of whatever that real position is. Because I still don't get it. Then what stood out to me was the monarchy. Okay, so Prince Harry marries a biracial woman. She comes into this institution, this system. And while in the system, she has to kind of prove her point that because she's also divorced once or twice, because she comes from the era of celebrity and actress. So all of that stuff that comes with her, that stands out, right? So she comes over there. She's willing to give up everything she owns, everything, family, because she doesn't talk to her father, friends. What's that fool name that walked off his show? See, his name escapes me. The anchor guy. Somebody will get back to me. Put it in the chat, people. And I definitely will check your comments in a second. Oh, okay. I forgot the guy's name, but a lot of people, she lost these relationships with them because she had to take on this new era. And this new era was that she was going to marry her husband, who happened to be a prince, part of the royal family. And part of that means, well, you're going to give us your keys. We need your passport. Which is crazy that you got to give up all of that. Give up all of your personal documents. And then, thank you so much, Pierce Morgan. Thank you. Love the people in the chat. Thank you, Rob, for that. Give up everything, and then you didn't adapt this whole process of the royal family. So you don't talk, you don't do interviews, you do your job, which is your job is whatever that is. You do all these different things. Okay, got it. She can't even have friends over. She can't be calling out, like you don't go to the phone and pick up the phone and say, I'm going to call my girlfriend and have a conversation, because now the institution is concerned about what it is you're sharing within this institution and the monarchy. Okay. I'm going to be wearing that word out because, first and foremost, didn't know how to say it properly. I had to keep saying it over and over and over. Okay. So I got it. But you give up all of this stuff, and go ahead, say.
You can't even leave the house. She said at one point she hadn't left the house in like two months.
If not longer. She was in the house for months. And they were saying that one of the comments is that she was seen too much.
Yes. Saturating whatever she was saturated because she was all over the news.
Now, who is calling and saying, oh, listen, I'm going to be walking out with my husband, Harry, so take a picture of us. Unlike Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod saying, listen, I'm going to Restaurant Inc. We'll be walking out, or she'll be out knowing it's really you. Jennifer's going out to Restaurant Inc. about 3:30 in the afternoon. She's coming from the gym. Okay. Now, Meghan Markle's having the opportunity or the time that says, listen, let me find a phone or a tin can and some string to call somebody and say, I'm going to happen to be walking out the front across the yard. Catch a picture of me and Harry walking. Is it her fault that she is actually being photographed to that degree? No. No. So we're not even going to say that. If anything, she added a layer of niceness to the royal family, but we'll talk about that later. Getting past that, she is confined to a house, no identification, can't call anyone, can't go visit a friend, friend can't come over. Her husband has a job, she has a job. He then time had a job he has to do without her.
Absolutely. Good job.
Why in the world does the institution why is the institution set up to the point of controlling anybody, even if it's Kate Milton and Middleton? And I want to get to her because that I'm trying to be nice. Oh, I'm trying to be nice. I was going to say some nasty calling names. That woman, this whole story that we got out there that Meghan had done something very hurtful. Yes, very hurtful to Meghan Markle's. And then she had to hold this secret while the institution knew that technically it was not that way. They wanted this bad image of her. I think one, it has to do with she's an actress. Secondly, big time, she's black.
An angry black woman that's making this little white lady cry.
You, when I like something or I'm passionate about something, I speak with my hands. I know a little bit of sign language, but I should have went to school for full sign language because I talk with my hands. This story has got me rolling on the hill. I just don't understand. And Macon was getting assassinated in these streets. She was getting assassinated.
I didn't even know that until they started showing some of the articles. I didn't know she was being dragged through the coals her whole time a part of the family. I really didn't know that. Because I really didn't keep up with the royals. I'm like your husband to some degree. I didn't care about watching them. I didn't even care about this article, this interview with Oprah, until I heard people talking about it. And I said, let me give it a shot, and actually did enjoy it. Very, very.
Listen, ruthless. She was getting just torn to shreds. But then it reminds me of when Prince Harry and William's mother, Diana, was in her position as the princess. Is that the right term? Right. I'd be feeling. Say it again.
Works for me. Princess works for me.
Okay, so the princess. So I'm like, this is very familiar. This is the same thing that their mother was going through, and you would think that. And I thought this when. William married Kate Middleton. I thought like they're going to do, and the media even talk about that. He's going to do a great job at protecting his wife because of what happened to his mother, that history would not repeat itself. But that was good for him, but not good for when Harry does it. That he would protect his wife and do whatever he needed to do. So I am just like annoyed. I'm talking about it because it's a topic in social media. I don't think about the royals like that. But when we heard that a biracial woman, so many thoughts right in my head. A biracial woman was getting into the royal family. I was like, okay, royal family for letting a biracial woman in there. Because once you black, you black. Period. Come and say that again.
I said, give us free from mama style.
Come on. I was down for it. So when people say they're not into the royals like that, well, this is why I was into it, because there was a woman who was identified as a black woman getting in, putting her footprint in a position of the royals and maybe changing what that looked like. And like, okay, this is going to be good. Then she gets dragged and all those different things. And then it just doesn't paint a nice picture of her. So I want to go past that. When they say that she made Kate Middleton cry, the institution hid that. When they say that she's out there in these streets and she's just seen all over the place and they need to kind of just have her pull back some and sit down, I don't think it had anything to do with her being in the streets, because I don't think that she was out there enough as a black princess, a black princess married to a prince. He's not going to get the position of a king because William's children. So I learned that too. You just think that once someone died, then maybe the brother, but I learned later that, of course, it doesn't go to the brother, the sibling, or the sister. It goes to his children. So now he got William. William got his first son, his daughter Charlotte. Then they had the little other child. So, and I don't even think Harry wants to be a king, to tell you the truth.
Neither do I. Did it surprise you when he said that he doesn't really have a relationship with his dad?
That a little bit, yeah. But when I thought about it from this lens, that they're going to do whatever they need to do to protect that whole look, the facade, to keep the facade going, whatever that facade is for them. They did whatever they needed to do, because why didn't they? If that was the case, why didn't they just step up for his wife? They do it for Kate Middleton.
Absolutely. It also surprised me when he said that they completely cut them off financially. I was like, wow, like it's that serious? Just because you don't want to be apart? Or even like, I was blown away that Tyler Perry had to give him security.
And
Tyler
housing.
Perry, I know, give him the house. I was like, wow, that was crazy.
Wait, I got the picture that they were okay with walking away from at least their position of working in the family system, but they were under the impression, based on that interview with Oprah, that security would still protect her husband because he was still a prince, and also their son because he was a prince's son, even if it wasn't for her. And she didn't. Honestly, you don't never know what a person thinks, but I didn't get that she was actually going to fight that she needed security, that she wanted to be this princess who was always having security. Actually, I think she was very much happy trying to cut the ties that bind her so that she can have some freedom to breathe and not be having someone always on her heels.
Wasn't used to that life.
So you got to be careful what you wish for, because what looks like something on the other side of a door, you just never know. And they kind of alluded to that. You just don't know until you're in that position. We drive past houses and we look at these celebrities and we look at these princesses and prince and all these people in these different positions and say, oh, if I could. And people need to really be careful about saying, if you could walk in someone else's shoes. I don't, coming from, as a dancer, and not a stripper either, for celebrities people. So let me just make that mark clear. Okay? Right? Kofi is. No, my coins came in a check and it was done through no, it was not.
W-2?
Yes. Okay. But when I say to you that coming from the position of modeling and coming from the position of a dancer for a lot of well-known designers and entertainers, from R&B to hip hop and all that. I never wanted someone to always be hovering over me. Now, mind you, as a dancer, you didn't get that. As a model, you didn't get that because I was not on the elite of a Naomi or Tyra Banks. But I made my mark in that space enough to say, okay, well, this is cute. Nowhere near that. But I could never fathom that I wanted to get to a point where somebody would always be hovering over me and I couldn't turn left or right and just breathe and just do things what I wanted to do without somebody following me. And you can best believe, with that being said, that whoever was following her was reporting back to the family on what she was or was not doing.
So I need to know, what's your beef with Kate Middleton? You said you were going to come back to that.
Child, that lady. So I when she became a princess, I thought this was cute and nice that the Princess Diana's sons were growing up and they started to marry and date, and we started to see them as young men. I thought that was cute. What my twist turn for her was about which Megan talked about on the interview, that she knew that the issue that was portrayed in the media was false, and she allowed Meghan's character to be assassinated by the British press and across the country, that she would be seen as this, whatever that is to people, whether a woman trying, now that she's become married to a prince, she wanted to be seen. I didn't like it. here's the thing: we can continue to repeat history negatively, or we can step into a position and change what it looks like moving forward. And now that you have a young man, Prince William and Kate Middleton, because although those royals do live old, honey, they live along. They got like cat lives. They just don't die. They stay alive. Even if that's the case, you think that these new people in this age, Harry was photographed in a what? Didn't he do a streaking one time, or he was in a hot tub with somebody one time, and he went to parties, and he did this thing. And you know what? Honestly, he became more realistic to me. He was not the fairy tale prince that I think the monarchy and the institution wants to portray to us people out there in the communities. Oh, this is what it means to be a king or a princess. No one's perfect, so he showed that. Kate Middleton could, and William, and they're still projecting this ugly thing that makes William and Harry and Meghan look bad. They could have changed and said, listen, what was portrayed out there in the media about she making me cry was not the truth. I misunderstood the situation. And she didn't even have to say anything. She could have just said, what you're hearing is not true. She could have just said that.
Like, why do people care so much? That's the thing. When I didn't know anything about this crying fiasco, crying gate, whatever you want to call it, but I was like, who cares if she made her cry? Like, did she punch her? Like how did she make her cry?
Wait,
like that's what.
Who cares about who cried?
Either way, Meghan making Kate cry or Kate making Meghan cry. Like, who cares if they cried? If they had a disagreement and the other one was too sensitive and they shed a couple tears, is it that big of a deal to really write articles about it?
Oh, yeah, okay. So who's this? Okay, Miss, we got. Come on, my people. I see Rhonda Finley there. I see Dawn there. Thank you guys for showing up. We are getting our numbers back. We got a couple of announcements to make, Kofi, about the shows. Look what it looked like moving forward at the end of the show. So people, don't leave. Don't leave. Stay tuned. We got some announcements. So I don't know why people care. I don't know why people care. Why do people care about anything? You know, if something's entertaining to you or you find yourself in that position, whether through fantasy or reality, it's for you. People may be saying to us right now, why the hell do we care? And why are we talking about this on the show today? I'm talking about it because it's a trending topic. And because I don't care enough that when I get off in here and pull my ponytail down and then let my hair up and put it up in a bun, that I'm going to be like, oh, Lord, can you no, I'm not going to be doing that. But I'm going to tell you that we kind of, again, continue to assassinate people's character without knowing the full story. And that's what the royals do. They tend to tear people apart, like Princess Diana, like Fergie. They did the same thing to Fergie, which was Princess Diana's good friend that was married to Charles' brother. They're doing the same thing now to Meghan Markle's, and she was being dragged in these streets. So I was okay and so glad to see a princess in that position. Now, I would have liked to see a princess that looked like this.
You got to crawl before you walk.
Listen, I wanted to see some of this good hair, this good mocha color. This is what I wanted to see. But she light. And I think they would just shot Harry right on spot if he would have said, "Oh, this is my." They were like, "Listen, we're gonna deal with the biracial girl, but we're gonna deal with her because she's fair skinned. We're not gonna deal with her when she is Naomi's skin." Exactly. All right. So that's my thing. I didn't like the whole situation. It was ugly. I think Oprah did a phenomenal job with the interview, a phenomenal job asking the questions. I, too, was very not shocked, because what these people are doing is not shocking, but the fact that William and Meghan actually said that someone was questioning Archie's skin color. Questioning his skin color. And now my question to my viewers, do you believe that there are people bowing down to the monarchy, but the monarchy is a racist institution, because there's not only white British people over there are black British people over there too, bowing and cursing and
Yeah.
say it again for me,
Kurt C.
curtsying. Thank you. Coming up there and bringing flowers and shaking hands and crying when they see these royals, but yet they don't care if their family marries someone outside of that institution. And the question is, are they racist or not? What do you think, Kofi?
I'm not going to say racist as a whole. Like Megan said, she got along beautifully with the queen. So I'm not going to say racist as a whole, but I do think the institution, whoever those people
Mm-hmm.
are people who mentioned to William about his, sorry, Harry about his son. Absolutely, absolutely. But he did say it wasn't his grandmama or his grandfather. So I'm assuming it's either his father, air quote, or a brother. Um, but I was really glad to hear that, like I said a few seconds ago, that she got along beautifully with the queen. Like she was one of her favorites. Because I would have thought grandma would have had a bug up her bonnet regarding Harry bringing home a black chick. So I was like, all right, grandma, that's cool. That's cool. Like she gave her pearl earrings and a pearl necklace or whatever. I was really, really impressed.
That was beautiful, but yeah, I don't think grandma is. I don't know if grandma is racist, but now I learned from that interview that when I was thinking, well, why doesn't grandma change what it looks like moving forward for those behind her? When the next king steps into the position, why don't she change that? But now, from that interview, I'm learning that the institution puts into place what grandma gonna do. Grandma don't have that power. She's the queen, but there is her predecessors that predecessors. Thank you. I won't tell people what my secret is with the. Okay, yes. Let's just say that it's a cocktail, honey, because I got twist tongue all through the building. Oh, thank you. Looking beautiful, Diamond. Thank you, Andrea. No, anyway, thank you so much. So I don't know if grandma is racist, but then I learned, like I said, from the institution, grandma doesn't put the things in place. I guess she kind of, it appears she puts it in place, but the institution put it in place and she enforces it because she's the queen. Okay. But I do think there's some undertone racial underlying issues there. I do believe that grandma could have done better in a different way. Grandma could have came out and did a statement by now as the queen. She could have showed us as the people out there in the communities in the country that guess what? Listen, I still support my grandson. I support my daughter, my granddaughter-in-law. I support them. She can say. Well, she can't because of the institution. I already know that, but she could have come out there and said some form of fashion that we didn't pull. How is it that the queen doesn't have the authority or some kind of position to say to the institution, no, they don't work here. No, we won't financially support them, but we would not pull their security. He's still my grandson.
I think she was the way it came across. They made it seem that she was bothered that they left. She or the institution or grandma stripped Harry of his army fatigues and army the whole title.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were stripped of everything
Right.
because he left the family. So I don't think she was racist. I think she's a woman from a different era. So maybe she isn't going to come forward because Megan may be the only black person she ever came into contact with on a personal level. And she may not know how things really impact people of color, statements or whatever. I can say that from a personal, my interracial relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, people can't always put themselves in your shoes. But I think she was really, really bothered that her grandson left, especially for a woman, and that is why he was stripped of everything, money, money, security, everything. I'm sure the institution had a part, but I think grandma may have had a part of that.
I mean, I definitely see your side. I definitely can look at your view and your side and take that in consideration. It makes sense when you put it in that way. I just, I don't know. I mean, there's so many thoughts running in my head. I just wish that the experience was different. Um, I don't think that grandma is, let me say this, and then we'll move on to the next thing. I don't think grandma, the queen, is grandma, child. Listen, check it. Grandma. Okay. Grandma. Nana.
Nana.
Okay. I don't I don't think grandma, the queen herself, may be a racist woman because there's a lot of people who have gone and been in her presence and stuff like that. But I just want to leave this comment and this question, and people can actually put it in the chat. Do you, if you are a different race and I'm a different race and I marry into your family and you don't like that, does that make you a racist person? Just something to walk away with and think about. If I am Afro-American and I marry into a Caucasian family and that family is an uproar, why you marry her? I'm not out there on the pole. I don't have 25 babies. I have a great job. I had a career before I met you. I conduct myself with class and style. And I'm interested in you. And your family said, don't bring that girl here. Are you racist? And let me leave that by saying that before I have dated outside my race. Not been in a full-fledged relationship, but I've gone on many dates outside of my race where they were interested in me. But my first question has always been, would you take me home? Period. And some of them will look at, what do you mean? You know damn well what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. Would you hesitate to take me home to meet? I don't want to meet your friend Joe down the street. Joe down with the chocolate girls too. I want to know, would you take me home to meet your mother and father? That's just my thought. Kofi, you look like you want to say something. What you think?
No, because I'm in that situation, as you know, and thankfully, the family was very, very welcoming. I feel if they were not, that they would, yes, racist, 100.
Okay, so you agree with me that if someone was not welcoming to you, okay, all right. I just wanted to see. Can we switch up the topic, guys? Listen, just because we're getting off this, and I know we spent some time there, but yet listen, it's my show, it's our show. We do what we want here, so you guys, you bring what you want, and we'll address that, and we're gonna keep talking about these things that's happening. Can we? When you look at the description here on the show, you'll see I asked the question: was T.I. out there on television saying to us that we need to conduct ourselves with better respect when the riots were going on in Atlanta up there under the mayor? And he, in the background, allegedly, we must always use that word allegedly because we don't got nothing. We don't want nobody coming to try to sue us for these little quarters that we got, because I'm trying to get people to start subscribing. I can't get y'all to start taking the money before we start getting it. Can you just tell me that this man was not standing in front of people talking about how we need to conduct ourselves and stop burning down buildings, and he's allegedly drugging young girls or girls with Tiny and then forcing them to have sex or not letting them leave when they want to leave? Can you tell me what's going on? What do you think, Kofi?
Talking out of both sides of his mouth. I don't know if the allegations are true. I thought that they were crazy, especially, what happened with Bill Cosby. I was like, why would they even continue that if they had already started it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The Me Too movement, people are talking. And just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean that you are protected. So the allegations are true. He was just talking out of both sides of his mouth, trying to look good, trying to save face, trying to make his city better, but still make his bedroom wetter.
Oh, okay. I like the slogan, but he's messy as hell. Always messy. I mean, how how is it in these days, what's going on, like you said, the Me Too movement and so forth, and what happened with Bill Cosby and so many other, that Tiny will put him, Tiny Child, T.I. and Tiny too, will put themselves in the position. They had such a great platform with, what is it?
Especially as a woman, for Tiny, especially as a woman. Like, if these allegations are true, like, this is it's beyond crazy. I mean, my mind would not be able to wrap itself around the whole issue. Because you're a woman, you're seeing what's being done, some women you actually know, you befriended, and you're allowing this to happen. Even if it is for your husband, y'all got to know the kids, so the sex must be good. So, like, why you got to bring other people into the bedroom?
But you know, he did say, and I kind of started like, okay, where's these allegations coming from? Is somebody upset? But then he did a live Instagram, I think, video or something like that, where he says that anything that happened in his bedroom was consensual.
I didn't know that.
Yes, anything that happened in my bedroom was consensual. Dude, you just told, gave us a little pebble under the rock to look at this like, wait a minute. So something might have happened in the bedroom. Maybe not to the degree that the people are talking about, but now it's not one person talking, which was Tiny's friend. There's a number of women saying they had been in this position for a period of time between Tiny soliciting the girls, getting them, building this relationship, friendship, and then T.I. allegedly is now in this position of having whatever he wants in his bedroom. Wait, what's happening? You just can't trust people these days. It seems like people always have an underlying alternative motive to try to do something. You know, you think you got a good friend, but your friend is willing to put you at risk, i.e. the girl said that T.I. pulled the gun out and stuck it to her head. You think your position as a celebrity is that big that you can whip out a gun and someone takes that and many people have, take that to the grave? I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Very, very, very weird. Let me just check these comments out right quick. So we got... Okay. And it's okay if we're on something else and you guys posting it, because I look over here to see what you're talking about over here so that I can read the comments out if it's something that stands out. The queen has been on the throne too long. Okay, this is from Lenny. The queen has been on the throne too long. Like Kofi said, there's difference in generations and the capability of staying up to date with the needs of the times, no matter what. Okay. I agree. And then the other thing is, this is from Andrea. I don't think I'll make it. I don't think it'll make them complete racists. Okay. I think it's far more into an ignorance category.
Agreed.
Andrew said, meanwhile, he is all up in the generalized gynecologist. He's all up in the gynecologist with his daughter talking about she better be a virgin.
Exactly. I forgot about that one. Who said that?
That was Andrea.
Good job, Andrea.
Right.
Exactly.
You sitting all the way up there and you going to the gynecologist, but you already keeping people prisoners so that you can be their gynecologist. Wait, what? Sir, I'm confused and lost. This is what I mean about how... Be careful what you ask for. I would like... What's going on? I would like to see... get into a certain status. That's nice. Where you can pay your bills, you don't have any issues going on. That's all beautiful and dandy. But the problem I'm concerned about is you get to a point of getting into a position that you think you're bigger. Bill Cosby. Let's drift this over and still be talking about Tiny and T.I. Governor Cuomo. Have you heard about what's going on with Governor Cuomo? How is it that Governor Cuomo is in this position? Now, here it goes. It's not just one person. It's a number of people who are saying that the governor has made inappropriate comments or groping of them. What?
That one picture, though, where he was at some wedding or something with that young-looking girl.
Uh-huh.
And on her face, and she said, like, he tried to kiss her. I was like, she up there smiling. She didn't look too scared. she did not look too scared. Like she was not saying that it didn't happen. Believe me, I'm not saying that at all, and I'm not saying that what she's alleging is not true. But in that snapshot of time, she was saying he tried to kiss me. She didn't look worried at all. If that was the case, she'd have a scowl on her face, her hand like push him away or something along those lines. I'm thinking, is it that she's taking an opportunity to make these allegations, to put her name out there? I hope that's not the case. I do hope that the allegations aren't true either, especially with everything that's been going on for the last several years. All these celebrities, and politicians, and everyone being blamed for inappropriate touching.
You know, the Me Too movement is such a powerful movement. Thank goodness, thank God that there is a platform where people can come out and say it's not too late to have these conversations about, especially people that we are supporting or in a position of power, and that they continue to take advantage of people who do not have that kind of power, right? So, but I do question some people, their alternative motive. Is it ever too late? Alternative. There go these. Go ahead, Kofi. Ulterior motive. Thank you. This is what having a team, honey. They tell you, girl, speak right because you don't speak Spanish. Okay. My thing is this. Oh, I'm just reading the comments. My thing is this. I think when it comes to the Me Too movement, people are coming out, and they should have a voice. Now that you have a place that you feel safe, come out there, tell your story, and whatever consequences come of that, then that's what will happen. But I do question some people's they're coming out. Not that nothing didn't happen, but for an example, some of the people who I'm probably going to get killed in these streets about what I'm thinking. Some of the people who go to hotel rooms, for an example, what was the that's a shame I can't think of his ugly name. The mogul man when it comes to the movies.
Yes, Weinstein,
Harvey Weinstein. So I don't know. Harvey had this reputation in the out there in the industry for a while, of being someone who was not safe to be alone with. I just wonder, people who appear to be smart, why would they put themselves in a position of, say, for an example, you're going to take a meeting at Harvey's hotel in his room, and again, by all means, people who are watching this show, I am not, if you just think about what I'm asking, you'll see that I'm not saying that, this didn't happen and you were stupid. No, I'm just wondering, when we know there's a predator in the midst, why would I put myself in a position to be alone with the predator for a role? Come on, Kofi, what you saying?
I said to be vulnerable.
Yes. That's like, I was going to use you, Kofi. That's like me saying I'm going to go to a friend's house, but that person's known to take advantage of people, rape people, and this is a friend I just met. I'm not going to your home, let alone by myself or with another girl. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So I say all that to say, I just wonder why some of the people who just coming out all of a sudden want to jump on this bandwagon and say, oh, this happened to me too. Because we do a disservice to the Me Too movement in that way, that people who really have been victimized by people and predators out there that are using the Me Too movements to get their voice heard, get justice for themselves. And people come and say, oh, me too, that happened to me. It a whole river down. And then the impact that it can have. Now people start looking with a side eye and a tilted head saying, okay, did this really happen to you? And then people feel that those that it really happened to, like, wow, this is why I never said anything, because no one was going to believe that I was a victim of this situation. So it's just freaking annoying to all level. Kofi, did you want to chime in on any of that I just talked about? Okay. Can we, I want to ask a question. Oh, we're good with time. I want to ask a question. Is love just that? Is love just love? So I put down in this daggone description, If any of you know who Nicey Nash is, let me tell you, Nicey Nash has now been married, divorced, and if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. I think she was married twice, but let's for sure I know she's been married once and divorced. And now she's remarried again, and this time she married a woman. Is love just love, or is Nicey Nash love fantasy? She's not here to tell us what it is, but I just wonder what you guys think. Oh, Kofi, I see your face. What you thinking? Go ahead and tell me. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm okay.
I think it's love. I think I don't think it's a facade. I don't think it's a fad. I think it's love. I know someone who only dated men, who only dated men, and then in their 30s met a woman. It was a female, and she met a woman, and they were together for like 8 years before they separated. And she genuinely loved this woman. Um, so I think that's the case with Nicey Nash. So I do think some people like I've been down this road before and I keep getting the same thing. So let me try something different. You know what I'm saying? That could be the case. But even if she did try something different, she saw that she liked it. She saw that she loved it. She decided to marry it. So I think it is love, not just. It's not trying to make her a bigger celebrity because her dating and marrying a woman isn't helping her celebrity at all. I know she's now hosting the Mad Singer, but okay, and it's not, she's not making millions of dollars from that. But I think she married this woman because she loves her, and I wish her the best.
Okay.
What you I feed them eyes. What you got?
Listen. It's possible. Yes. It's yes. Based on what I've been seeing for some time now, I think I'm not talking specifically about Niecy Nash right now. I just want to say love is love, right? Love is colorless, it's sexist, it's all different. It's love is love. Um I
Wait,
do
wait, wait, wait. We were talking about Nicey Nash, so let's talk about Nicey Nash. You brought it up. Talk to me your feelings about Nicey Nash and her love. What's her
okay.
love like?
Okay. So and I think I was gonna allude to that. I I'm not saying that Niecy Nash isn't in love with her wife, if that's how she identifies her wife. I'm not saying that she's not in love with her wife, but I do squint when I hear someone like Niecy Nash in her position. I don't want to say all of a sudden, although I do want to say that. Now we see that she is in love with this woman, and we never heard. So that just around the bushes that Niecy never walked in her truth, and she's always been a woman that was bi-curious, loved women, open, um, because it just seemed like, and I know because I don't know her, out of the blue, but how is it that how is it that Niecy Nash has never, ever talked about the beauty of women and that she would be someone that date women, that she would not be against women? Like, how is it that that never happened?
So people who come out the closet don't talk about what they want in the closet. All of a sudden it's like, okay, this is who I am now. Accept me for who I am. It's not like I'm gonna just plant a little seed, like, oh, she kind of cute and I'm a chick, or he kind of sexy and I'm a dude. Like, no, I'm going to talk about the opposite sex because that's what society wants me to talk about. And when I'm comfortable enough to accept my truth, now this is me. So like you said, we don't know her. We don't know what her personal life was, or who she was what she was talking about, or who she was talking about to her friends and family. But all of a sudden, like, she's married to a woman, and like, so be it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I, I do. I do.
Like, I could think of a bunch of people, not celebrities, but a bunch of people in my personal life who lived a life a certain way. They've had relationships, breakups, marriages, divorces, and then all of a sudden, you know what? My kids are grown. It's my time to shine. this is who I am. Let me live my truth now. I felt this way my entire life, and now it's my time to live my life, to be happy in my latter years.
I definitely hear you. I hear you. I get a little bit annoyed and frustrated when I think about people taking opportunities and just making a mockery of those situations. So when people come out, whenever they come out and say, I'm going to walk in my truth, and they're walking in their truth. And then there's some people who say, I'm coming out and now I'm dating this guy and girl, I'm dating this girl and, I love women. Well, you were never talking your truth. Like, I don't know. I think we're living in a time now that you just talk your truth. You speak your truth. You speak that. Nicey Nash has a great position as an entertainer. So why would she, and she always seemed to be vocal when she's talking about whatever it is. Why have she never talked about that? I'm just curious about that. You can't even tell me. None of the viewers can tell me. We can just share our opinions and thoughts. But I'm just saying, how is it that we never heard of this?
Because she's trying to make her celebrity. How many celebrities? She growing up in her celebrity. She's trying to establish her celebrity. So why would I say I like females if that's going to tarnish my celebrity as a black female?
Okay, I get it from that. I get it from that position. Yes, I get it. Which is sad. That's like any of us. We can't go into a position saying this is who I truly am, and then applying for a job or whatever, and people say, "Oh wait, you used to do this or you like that," and then they judge you and you can't get the position. I get that, but this woman was a woman that performed at Nicey Nash's wedding as an entertainer.
I didn't know
Sip your cocktail. Go ahead. We'll wait. We're waiting. Sip it. So this woman that Nicey Nash married, it was someone who performed at her wedding to her husband. How do you feel about that, Kofi? What do you think about that? Right. Exactly. So my thing is, I don't, and I'm being facetious. Go ahead, Kofi. What do you think, honestly?
I'm still processing my drink.
Okay, you keep on processing it. I don't. I
No,
mean, I don't get it. Go ahead.
I did not know that part. Wow.
Yes.
Well,
How would
I'm
you
sure.
feel if your husband? How would you feel if your husband, honey, somebody performed at your wedding, okay, and came up in that piece?
I'm trying to keep
Or
it
how,
PG. Like,
or how would I feel if my wife? And mind you, I'm talking about just same-sex relationships because Nicey is in a same-sex relationship, and that happened. We're not talking about heterosexual relationships right now. So if we was in those positions, you would be like, well, wait, hold up. I invited the vulture up in here that worked on getting my relationship. You can't blame that on Nicey's wife, but I'm just saying, how do we know that wasn't the case?
I know, too close for comfort. Too close for comfort, for real.
Right. I dropped some diamonds. We're gonna be dropping you guys some cocktails in the chat. Thank you so much, people, for just showing up. People are texting there. This is what we're looking for. We're looking to get you guys back involved in the conversation and talking with us about some of the things that we're talking about. This is just the beginning. Stay around, please. Get people to come and subscribe to the channel. Throw us some thumbs up and let us know what you're thinking. If you like somebody's personality, if you want them to change something up, well, I wouldn't say much change it because we authentic. We're not changing anything about who we are. But if it's something that you're looking for, let us know. I want to. We talked about Meghan Markle's. We talked about Tiny and Tia. We talked about.
Nicey Nash and Zaya.
Now I want to bring up the interview with First Lady Michelle Obama and Zaya Wade. Don't wipe the corner of your eye.
I don't know that one.
You don't got. Well, let me just tell you. I didn't watch the full interview, but this conversation also is out there in those streets. Okay, so First Lady Michelle Obama had a conversation with transgender young girl, Zaya Wade, which is the basketball player Dwayne Wade's daughter. So we want to be respectful on this platform. This is how she identifies, and this is what we're going to be calling her. She identifies as a female, and that's what we're going to be doing. I'm all about walking in your truth and finding who you are. But I'm not putting my thoughts out about the yet. I want to know what you guys think. When, even if you haven't watched the interview, I encourage you to watch the interview, the chats, the conversation. Comments are always going to be posted. So when this show is posted on YouTube, you can go right back there. Please, we go back and read the comments to see what you post so we can bring it back and talk about it later. Michelle Obama had this very interesting conversation with Zaya, and how proud she was of her walking in her truth and what her mission is, I guess, to have a voice in the LGBTQ community, about who she is and how proud she is. I mean, you got people out here saying, there was a comment from a man of some rapper, I can't think what his name is, and I guess it's not important to really know his name, stated how he feels this interview with former First Lady Michelle Obama and Zaya sets men back to the point that they don't even want to procreate and have children because of the fear of their sons getting this message that it's okay to be transgender, and it's just going to kind of deplete the population. You know, they're not going to be producing babies because, of course, they're, trans. What are your thoughts, Kofi?
I think that's very, 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 very ignorant. To keep it PC, it's beyond ignorant because even if you are transgender, doesn't mean If you're a female to male, does that mean that you still can't have children? Remember the pregnant man? He was transgender. Mm-hmm. He had kids. Mm-hmm. Do you remember? Like 15, 20 years ago, he had children. So it doesn't mean that these people still can't procreate. That's just very, very ignorant and stupid. Let's keep making
when I look at it from this lens, right? And again, I have my thoughts about it, and I'll keep my thoughts to myself. Not my thoughts, my opinions. And I just want to talk broad about what I'm hearing and what I'm reading in the news articles on social media. When you have, I think some people think that, for an example, a parent who has a transgender child, not only did the transgender person who's walking in that position, their life is going to change different about how they do things. So, for an example, a transgender man, he wants to have his own biological children, so he's willing to get pregnant by either the old way or the new way, and have his own babies. And for many people, that's just what is like, our older generation. That's like, what is going on? I do wonder how they think about some of these things. But a parent who has a child, they think that their dreams of being a grandparent or something like that changes forever. Now, it looks totally different compared to what the narrative used to look like when we were kids or before we were born, that there was a man and a woman got together, they procreated together and had children. And those children continued the generation legacy of that family, whatever it is, just bringing babies, you continue to just keep that bloodline going. But now, we are in a time where that looks different. So I did not necessarily, the comment that the person posted, this rapper, I was like, what? Men are not going to stop having sex, okay, first and foremost. There's too many men out there popping out babies that they should probably put a condom on and stop making so many kids and not taking care of their children. But I thought that comment was kind of just like weird.
No, it is. To say that more little boys or little girls are going to come out and reverse their gender, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. Once they accept who they are, just because Dwayne Wade's daughter is opening doors for younger kids to come out or whatever, is it going to change anything? It is going to be what it's going to be.
The good thing, the good thing about this is that people don't have to hide. But not hiding, people don't know how to embrace either, right? I hate that people just want to jump on the bandwagon that I'm gay, bisexual, whatever I am, just to get their fetishes off, right? It's very ugly. It's very ugly. It's very ugly. But when you have someone as young as Zaya talking this. Who came before Zaya? Jade. Remember the show Jade, the transgender girl. Um, her name was Jade,
Absolutely.
right?
She's now an actress.
I think
I think.
so. I think she was moving into the actress field.
Yeah.
It's a very sticky situation, but I think this changed the level of the conversation when our former first lady was having this interview one on one with Zaya. So I see why people are questioning certain things, but let this child live. Just let this child live and be who they are. Let them find their way. Let them have a village that's supporting them. So, um,
Focus on your recording career, no name actor, no name rapper dude.
say it again.
I said focus your attention on your recording career, you no name actor. Why you worried about the one with Abe's daughter?
I agree. No, I agree. I'm just saying, I absolutely agree. Like, why are you so busy over here about Dwayne Wade? What is and Gabrielle Union's child? And you know what? And another thing, I don't know Zaya's birth mother's name, but I think we also need to keep her name out there too. Gabrielle is by what I see, a great mom. The way this portrayed in social media to Zaya, love that. But I wish that we would not just say Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. That child has a biological mother too, and we need to pay homage and respect to the biological mom for standing by Zaya. Hopefully she is, and saying, "This is my child. What we're going to do, we're going to continue to love on her." And that's what Dwayne Wade. I mean, he's had his nails painted. He's colored his hair pink before. He's done things. An NBA player, superstar player with that kind of position, saying, "I don't care what you guys think or say. I'm going to love my child for who she is."
My child, and I love her.
So that's crazy. I wanted to talk about that. So I hope people will post their comments and share with us what your thoughts about former First Lady Michelle Obama conversation with Zaya. Watch the interview if you haven't watched the full interview. Also with Oprah with Meghan Markle's and Prince Harry. Please watch that too. Come back to this show. The shows are always there, archived on our YouTube channel there. You can go back and post your comments because we get a notification when you post something. Now, let's wrap this show up. We are 1 year COVID. We are the year of COVID. Kofi, how are you doing 1 year of the pandemic?
That's a very good question. I'm trying. So I'm much better than I was. Like the first 6 months was really, really, really difficult for me just sitting in the house. But I guess I've gotten used to it now, working from home. Um, I'm just trying to take it in stride. I got my first vaccine. I got my second one on Thursday. I'm going to go visit family out of state for the first time since the pandemic, so I'm looking forward to that.
Are you
I'm
still going to
hoping,
wear a mask?
yes, 100%, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
100%. Yeah. And I'm still trying to limit the people who I'm interacting with, like extended family. I just want to see my immediate family when I get out there. Um, I'm just trying to take everything in stride. I know there's talk about us going back to work in the office. I'm not looking forward to that, but then again, I am looking forward to that, to have human interaction, other than me being in the house by myself and talking to people via video like I'm doing right now.
Right.
Um, I'm really just trying to take everything in stride.
So funny. I'll talk to you on the back end about what dates or months you heard about us getting back into the office. Okay. So that's the other thing. We'll go there. You can just text me, hit me up in the text. The other thing is 1 year of COVID. I have to tell you that, which is so many shows that we're going to be having in the future. But 1 year of COVID, this year went by extremely fast with so many people lost their lives. Over 500,000 people had died from COVID. For me, I valued my family and my friends before COVID happened. So my love for people and the way my passion about things hasn't changed, not one bit. Not one. I have been the same person from the beginning that I have been through this process of COVID. I think 1 year I've learned when it comes to work that one, we can do our jobs without having to be in the office 5 days a week. There's a way to still do the work we kind of do and still work from our homes. I would love to have more social interaction with people in a way that you're not so nervous about going to visit people or being around them, or if someone does a sneeze and cough, even if they cover their mouth or covering their mouth, that you're not panicky. Um, it's good that we got to this point that although we're still in the pandemic, that we don't have to deal with the formal number 45 while we're still in that position. So that's a great thing where we are 1 year later, that he's not in the position in the White House speaking nonsense.
Absolutely. It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, so great to just like you said, the breath of fresh air and see something different. I will say this. I'm hoping that for the people who watch this show, I'm hoping for the people who don't even watch this show, that for the 1 year of coming through the pandemic, something for you resonated, that you found something that you didn't realize before, right? And if you didn't find anything like myself, that you just know it because you know it is who you are, that it shines brighter for you. Whether that is the way you love on people, the way you forgive people, the way you process things, whatever it is, that you find that openness in that space that makes you happy. So 1 year COVID is going to be interesting when we come out of this. Will we be the same as we were before we came into it? And I don't think we will be. I think that people are going to want to keep some distance from certain people. I think people are going to be very judgmental of people, Korean people, Asian people, because now they're still holding on and harboring certain things. I think that's going to happen. I think that, sadly to say, that what we thought about the pandemic, we didn't still have all the information after we come out of it. I think that we're going to be told more information after we come through this pandemic. At the end, that people knew but didn't know how to disclose the information. So that's what my thoughts are. I love today's show. I thought today's show was fun and entertaining. It was a little bit more lighthearted. You got to hear my opinion. You got to hear my co-host Kofi's opinion about these topics. And we got to read the comments about, okay, amen, no more number 45. Okay, Andrea, you get a cocktail in the chat for that. That's a cocktail for you, Andrea. I hope that you guys enjoyed this conversation with Kofi and I. It was just to loosen things up a little bit. We're going to be talking about a lot of trending topics, playing games on this show. We're going to be talking about some heavy hitters that will make you be like, I didn't agree with that. And something you're like, I agree with that. But what we do, we welcome your feedback. We welcome you to subscribe to this channel and be a part of the community. We welcome you to disagree with us in a professional way. We welcome you to offer ideas to the show. We welcome it all. This is a new way of us doing things. Before I let you guys go, we will be moving the show no longer to 2 days a week. We're going to be moving the show to 1 day a week. Now, what we want to know from you guys is what worked for you. What is going to keep you guys coming back to this show? Will you come to the show more on Fridays at 7 o'clock, whereas the show started in the beginning of its conception of the show at 7 o'clock on Fridays? Or would you prefer to come to the show at 7 o'clock on Sundays? Please do us a favor. Drop those comments in the next 2 minutes in the comment section. Fridays, 7 o'clock, Sundays at 7 o'clock. And we're going to be collecting this information for the rest of this month and then formulating how we're going to be doing things. So don't look for your notifications to go off twice a week. You should get a notification once a week unless it's another additional show. So please let us know, what are you thinking? Fridays or Sundays? Yes.
For the rest of the month, the show will be airing on Sunday.
Listen. Yes, I think that I would like to kind of move it, but if we have, let me count me out. We have, let's say, 6 people in the comments. I think that what we should do is wait to see what those people say. Then I'm going to be putting it on social media. Question, Kofi.
You were giving them throughout the rest of the month to give an answer. That's what you just said.
Yeah. Yes.
The rest of the month.
So Dawn. Hold on. Dawn is saying Sunday. Okay. Sorry, Kofi. No, 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 no. Not the whole month that we giving them because we need to solidify the show to once a week.
Okay, cool. Just want to get some clarification.
Yes, just so once a week. So it's not but what we're trying to do is get this done within this month time. So sorry for the misinformation. We would like you guys to actually tell us what you would like to see, Fridays or Sundays. The majority wins. I will be putting this on our Instagram page as well as on Facebook of what day the show, what day you would like to see the show. And once we collect this information, let's give it, Kofi, 2 weeks, this week and next week, to make a decision. All right. So we will be collecting that information. We would really appreciate it if you would share this on your social media page. All you have to do is you watch the show or go back to our Voice Gathering Live podcast channel. At the bottom there, it says share. You just click the share button and share wherever you want to share it. Share the show. It'll notify us when you're sharing the show. It's going to notify us when you make a comment. It's going to notify us when you are getting people to subscribe. And we would so appreciate your support. Thank you guys for staying with us tonight. We had a great time, and I hope that you will see us next Sunday at 7 o'clock. If you keep a notification on, it'll tell you that, oops, they went off on Friday. They're on Friday. It's always at 7. That's never changing, 7 o'clock. All right? Thanks so much. Kofi, it's, again, happy birthday. And, again, it's so good seeing you. I see the bar behind you. So I need to be over there, even though I don't drink. Oh, somebody said Wednesday. Even though I don't drink, having a cocktail, but nevertheless, you did send me something pretty.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you guys for checking us out, and see you next week.
Be good to each other, and remember, no pressure, no diamonds. Until next time, guys, we will see you later. Bye. And then, what did you think, real quick? We'll have the meeting on Tuesday. You don't have to go along with this. Like I said, she said, and I called her, and I know she's going to be apologizing, but like I said, the show must goes on. So this show will be aired. It's already live, so that was good. We got 7 likes, so we got 7 thumbs up. So, and me too. And excellent conversation as always. That's what people are saying. Wednesday at 4 p.m. LOL, kidding. That was Andrea. Lady said, I prefer Fridays, especially while we're still cold, but I'll stay anytime. Oh, that's good. Oh, Wanda Finley said Sunday. She stayed for the whole show. Dawn said Sunday. So we got some looking. I think the more we do that, the more we'll see that we need to keep it to that day. I thought it was good. No, I thought it was good. I love the fact that I am, I'm laughing and making jokes of things and stuff like that.